assaulted by a knife-wielding attacker, right here, right now, how high do you think your odds of survival would be? Many martial arts systems that promise effective self-defense solutions against edged or impact weapons may be a complete waste of your time. They require vast amounts of time and resources to master. They have an impractically vast manual of techniques for every possible variable, and they lack the simplicity and practicality needed to be effective with minimal practice. For lifestyle martial arts enthusiasts, this long path may yield eventual benefits. But if you need fast solutions, this long path can also be an impractical one. Now, what if I told you one simple thing that you could learn in a matter of minutes could help save your life from the vast majority of knife attacks or similar assaults? If you want to acquire the skills already vetted, trusted, and utilized by elite special forces all over the world without having to go through years and years in the process, the answer is TriCom. My name is Jared Wihongi. I've spent the last 2 decades analyzing the close quarter combat needs of some of the world's elite fighting forces. As a SWAT operator and Special Forces instructor, I know firsthand that the TriCom advantage saves lives. Over the last 2 decades, I have traveled the world many times over to teach the world's best the things I'm about to teach you now. Special Forces in the United States, Europe, South Korea, the Philippines, and Brazil, among many others, trust the TriCom advantage when it really counts. As a police officer, I've confronted subjects wielding deadly weapons on more than one occasion. In each situation, I was able to neutralize the imminent threat using TriCom concepts. But personal stories of success aren't enough. The goal of TriCom is not to show you what I have been successful in doing, but rather teach you what you are capable of doing. For those who might really need these skill sets, time is of the essence, and the TriCom system is the answer. Now, we are talking about a very specific set of skills with TriCom, one that you can functionally retain and trust in a comparatively short amount of time. The best part is, you can integrate it into whatever systems you are currently studying or passionate about. Have you ever attended martial arts seminars that offer a myriad of techniques, only to realize a few days later that you've retained none of it? Are you currently on that long martial arts journey that never really ends? Do you have that deep, sinking feeling that the skills you might need to survive a violent encounter are years away from your study? Are you a law enforcement officer or military professional who understands that department or unit mandated training often falls short of what you realistically need in the field? Or are you primarily concerned about the ability to defend yourself and your loved ones in a violent encounter? The TriCom system is designed to be rapidly absorbed to a functional level by the world's elite special forces. This same methodology used to train these elite operators can help you rapidly learn the same skills. It needed to be modular enough to adapt to mission-specific criteria while being taught in the most efficient way possible. While there is no replacement for in-person training, we have designed the TriCom system to optimize your learning experience. You don't need years of experience, just a bit of time and dedication as I guide you through this process. When it comes to your personal safety and that of your loved ones, we need to be prepared for the unpredictability of an ever-changing world. The TriCom program is modular and progressive, beginning with this Fundamentals course, working our way to specialization, taking you from beginner to advanced. We have designed the TriCom online program to optimize your learning experience. At the beginning of this video, I told you I would give you one simple thing that could help save your life in a violent encounter. That one simple thing is what we call the ACT formula of close combat within the TriCom system. Now, this ACT formula can help you to make the critical decisions necessary that could help save your life or the life of your loved ones at that moment when you need it. Now, the A within this formula represents avoidance, awareness, action versus reaction. The C within this formula represents contact, control, clinch, and communication.
Drop the gun, drop the gun.
The T represents the ultimate termination of this encounter, and that could be through trauma, takedown, throws, tactical disengagement, transitioning amongst weapon systems, or a takeaway technique. What we're going to show you here is an example of how this could play out. So what we're going to look at here is an example of the ACT formula in practice. The example we're going to use is going to be defense against an edged weapon type assault. Now, the two most common types of attacks you would face with an edged weapon would be an underhand stabbing movement with a forward grip, or an overhand stabbing movement in a reverse type grip. So for the illustrative purposes of this video, we're going to use that underhand stab. So as that comes at me, the first thing I need to be able to do is learn how to move my feet. Okay? Just avoid. Okay, that's that A, getting stabbed. So I'm moving my feet, angling my body a little bit, and also using my hands to create simple angles to protect myself without the necessity of perfect timing and fine motor skill. That's the contact part of our C. So I've moved, I've bisected that line with a simple technique, and then I've made contact, and I have to decide here, do I actually just disengage? Okay. Tactically disengage, it has to be done right, which for many situations may be your very best option to survive that encounter. If I can escape that position or that situation, that's what I do. That escape buys me time and space, which is critical to processing my thoughts, okay? Thinking through what my next step is going to be. The more time and space I have, the more likely I am to make that correct decision to follow up with. And that may be to transition to another weapon. Okay? For example, that's coming at me, I move, I've got time now to access a weapon. That may be a firearm. If I don't have a firearm, I don't work with it, maybe I do have a concealed one, so I'm training to draw from a concealed position. Maybe I have an EDC type knife. Maybe I have a tactical pen or something of that nature in a pocket somewhere. So I've bought myself a little time to access that weapon. Another example would be, I'm in here and now I'm actually looking to control that knife. Okay? So I've controlled the knife through a simple control that uses gross motor skill, not a lot of dexterity required here. And from this position, I'm looking to go to my next step. So I may be looking at trauma, okay? These types of movements, okay? And I may be looking at takedowns. And from these positions, following through with what I need to do to survive that violent encounter. So the ACT process is a dynamic process of figuring out what's the best decision and how do I make that decision at that critical moment. You are already on this path. you take your responsibilities as a protector seriously, and it has led you here. Whether you're a security professional, a martial artist, or anything in between, there are those you have a duty to defend, beginning with yourself. Street weapons cannot be ignored. Knives and blunt objects are the most common weapons utilized by criminals. Imagine having the confidence, knowing that your training reflects the trust of so many of the world's elite fighters. Imagine how you would feel if you failed to protect yourself or failed in your fundamental duty to protect those you love. In the next video, I'll show you a common mistake that sometimes even the highest level professionals will make when training to defend against a knife attack. Make sure you're around when that video is released. It might answer some critical questions you've already been asking. Soon, I'll be launching a TriCom Fundamentals Course, which includes the most critical concepts from all TriCom modules. The perfect companion for enhanced self-protection capabilities. It covers blunt and edge weapons defenses across all ranges of the fight, and includes considerations for lawful civilian concealed weapon carriers, as well as law enforcement and military professionals. I'll be taking on a handful of students to walk them step by step through this process. As much as I would love to help everyone, there is no replacement for in-person training. In order to maintain that high standard of results, we will be taking on interested individuals on a first-come, first-served basis. Thank you for watching. I'll be releasing more videos just like this one in the near future. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. Take care and be safe.